In this video we're going to look at the commutative property of multiplication and then the associative property of multiplication. So let's start with the commutative property. What is 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is definitely 6, right? Now, once again, a number and then with a parenthesis, touching a parenthesis, another number in there, that means multiply. So this means multiply. So it's 2 multiplied by 3. And that is the same thing as 3 multiplied by 2, right? Because what's 3 multiplied by 2? 6. So the commutative property means you can rewrite a multiplication like this. You can switch the numbers around. So how else could we write 7 times 8? By the way, 7 times 8 is what? It is 56. But with the commutative property, you can rewrite that as 8 times, and this time the multiplication is a dot. We're using a product dot or a multiplication dot. So 7 times 8 is the same thing as 8 times 7, right? And 8 times 7 is also 56, right? Same thing. So the associative property then, if you have 2 times 5 times 3, if you were to work this out, you are in fact supposed to do what's in the parentheses first. Now 5 times 3 is 15, okay? What's 2 times 15? It is 30, right? And that's fine. Now there's another way we could work this out. Instead of multiplying the last 2 numbers at the start, we could have multiplied the first 2 numbers at the beginning. We could have done this, 2 times 5 first, and then multiply by 3. And use parentheses to show that this time I want to multiply 2 times 5 to begin with to get, what is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10. And then I'm going to multiply by 3, and what's the answer? 10 times 3? 30, right? Here's another example of the associative property. If you were to work this out, and this time we're using an X for a multiply sign. So if I was to work this out, it's saying they want me to multiply 4 times 8 first. What's 4 times 8? 32. So I could go 3 times 32, which is 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 96, right? But the other way to work this out is to multiply the first 2 numbers at the beginning and then multiply by 8. So 3 times 4 is what? 12, and then multiply by 8. 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 8 is 1 and is 8 and 1 is 9. So 96. So the point is with the associative property, and the answer is, you don't even have to work it out, but the answer is, look, this equals this and this equals this, right? So you can either multiply the last 2 numbers at the beginning or the first 2 numbers. So for example, 7 times 12 times 18. You could multiply the last 2 numbers at the beginning, or you could multiply the first 2 numbers at the beginning. So the associative property is saying that this is equal to this. It doesn't matter if you multiply the last 2 numbers and then multiply by 7, or if you multiply the first 2 numbers and then multiply by 18. Either way, you will get the right answer, the same answer. That's what the associative property means.